Hey there, it's meteorologist Jamie Singleton letting you know about a severe thunderstorm warning that could become a tornado warning anytime now. I'm looking at a lot of hail and a lot of wind, damaging straight line winds, lots of 1 to 2 inch hail. I had an official report in from Amherst County of about 1.75 inches of hail. You can see the track of the hail there in the purple. That's where VIPIR was picking up large hail that moved through Nelson County. This is the same storm that's dropped south. Now, winds at the surface on these things are coming in out of the south and southwest. Winds aloft are coming in out of the northwest. So that's creating some hook echoes in here. We've actually seen this storm wind up into a bit of a hook before as the winds have been kind of favoring some circulation in here. The overall movement is taking it down to the south into the east. So you folks in Charlotte County and Pamplin may want to watch the storm as well. Now we've got another cell that's popped up also around Boonesboro into Lynchburg. That one's also moving into Campbell County and Rustburg. This one also has a damaging wind signature with it. The environment is such that we are watching these storms right along this trough here that I'm drawing in. Now this thing's going to be swinging to the east and south as well. It's kind of pushing these storms along. So behind it, we're okay. So I think Bedford's okay right now, but I'm very worried about Lynchburg. I'm extremely worried about Appomattox. We'll show you the higher res radar here in just a second. So let's get all that off here and we'll show you what we've got going on the broader scale. I'm zooming this out just to show you we don't have a whole lot to talk about in the Lexington, Roanoke, and Christiansburg, so we're good there. You folks in town, the Rocky Mount watching the 150 Fest should be fine. There's another cluster of storms, though, up to the north. Now, this may get us a little bit later on tonight. This is going to head in behind here and probably have some, at least a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings and maybe even some flash flood warnings as well. Moving you back up to the initial storm that I'm mainly concerned about, this is why. This is the enhanced tornado potential. The violent tornado parameter is up around 3 across our area. Those are very high numbers. Those are very high numbers, and it's because when you look at the wind at a near surface angle here, and I know it's hard to see, but we're coming in out of the south here. All right, and we've got a little area of low pressure that's moving through right now. It's formed its own low. When you go up to about 5,000 feet, our winds shift out of the west-southwest. When you jump up to 10,000 feet, they're out of the northwest. And when you go up to 18,000 feet, they're still out of the northwest, and they stay that way with a jet streak about 30,000 feet that's coming in and enhancing all of this lift. So supercell composites up around 8. We don't see that a lot. This is a northwest flow situation. And what I mean by that is we don't have a whole lot of rain embedded with these. These are dry weather supercells that we're seeing across the area. But your wind shear up around the overall wind shear, the change in wind direction and wind speeds up around 45 knots. And that will be sliding off to the south toward the Danville area, South Boston. Not too worried about Martinsville, but I am worried about Danville and South Boston also going into Charlotte County and Buckingham County and areas to the east over the next, say, 2 to 4 hours or so as this continues to move on off to the south. And then late tonight, we could be looking at something around midnight, 11 o'clock or midnight or so, with that second batch that's filling in behind here. We've got a whole bunch of lightning. I mean, an extraordinary amount of lightning that's up in the cloud itself. Probably some overhang, a big overhang cloud there coming in with the anvil of the storm. You can see how it becomes more pronounced and a bit of a hook showing up again right there near Appomattox. So if I was to draw that hook for you, it would be about, this is a signature you don't like to see. Let me draw that here. A bit of a comma head. And that's because you've got inflow there coming in right on 24 and 460. And then you've got the downdraft that's wrapping into this along 460 and 24. And you can see here through Appomattox, that's the area of concern. The storm itself is dropping down here, but the actual circulation, a possible tornado, could be back here just about across 24. Very difficult for the radar to see this far out because of the elevation of that beam away from the Blacksburg-Floyd County radar. But this will be a futurecast product I'm going to put up on the screen here. I'm going to advance this. This is not the current radar, but where we think, using our exclusive VIPIR technology, where we think the storm may be. And futurecast is probably too far west or too far east with these cells. But we'll see around Farmville into Charlotte County what happens there with time. Damaging wind, if you look at it over the past hour or so, you can see that we've had moderate amounts of wind here that could be causing damage in the Amherst County, mainly just to the east of Amherst, dropping down 60 through Appomattox and the Boonesboro as well. We've got some more damaging wind showing up with a separate cell there near Lynchburg. So we're going to want to watch that one. There's also around the lake, we've had a cell that's kind of died off a little bit here right over Smith Mountain Lake. And that's about the only 3 cells in town there. But where they are occurring, yeah, we're seeing a lot of potential for hail. This is our exclusive VIPIR product that shows us. Let me take off the flash flooding product. Where we could be seeing hail. And you see we got about 1 inch hail there into Boonesboro. Also about 1 inch of hail possible in rainfall amounts that could be up around 2 to 5 inches an hour. That's why we're seeing a lot of flash flooding potential in that area as well. And we just had a flood advisory issued now for Appomattox for that very reason. We'll put back on the flash flood risk there so you can see that's going to pop up in yellow, orange, and red. And where the red is, that's the high potential for flash flooding. Back here to the main radar board here, and you can see the cell VIPIR continuing to show that dropping south through Appomattox. So if we put a track on that, the main area that I'm concerned with here, Chapin Rithouse. Now if we take this and make it a little bit, cover a larger area here, these are using the VIPIR tools that it's using on its own, independent of the National Weather Service tools. Has it dropping south? Again, this would be the area to watch over the next 30 minutes or so as it continues to drop to the south, just east of Rustburg. But you folks in Rustburg have another cell that's over the city of Lynchburg. That's going to hit you too, or try to, around Evington, down 29 there, right over the airport, the Wards Road. And I'd be watching Alta Vista and Hurt too, just in case we get more development in that area. Got another wind potential there popping up right over Lynchburg. We're probably going to see a severe thunderstorm warning soon for Lynchburg. As you can see there, the whole city there just getting nailed by the storm. Right there's 501, there's 460, 221 heading in from the county there around Forest and Timberlake. Getting hit pretty hard there. And we've got more storms that are kind of backbuilding here into Livingston. That's a bit of a concern for flash flooding because you've got the secondary area that's moving in now through Bridgewater, moving into Stanton and the Allegheny Highlands, or I should say the Greenbrier Valley, from Clarksburg, West Virginia. Now that's moving to the south and east as well. And there's our severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Lynchburg, as we predicted there. I'll read you the text of this. This is in effect until 7:15. At 6:24, severe thunderstorm was located over Lynchburg, moving east at 25 miles an hour. Ping pong ball sized tail and 60-mile-an-hour winds. People and animals outdoors could be injured. Expect hail damage to roofs, buildings, siding, and vehicles. Wind damage likely in this storm. So take shelter in Lynchburg. You can see all the lightning here. There's a lot of wind as well. I'm looking at wind showing up around 4,600 feet, around 45 miles per hour, but there may be wind up underneath that I can't see because that beam's a little tight. Now, we've got a circulation here that's kind of showing up as well. Right there over the city where you see that green sticking out, that's a bit of a concern for me. So I'd watch for the potential for tornadic activity with this cell as well, as it kind of merges with this one across Appomattox. And you can see that we have a notch here right near Appomattox, dropping through Appomattox and Concord as it nears the southern part of Appomattox County. It'll be moving soon into Charlotte County. In fact, the overhang actually is. That's the anvil, the higher clouds of the storm. Probably some dark overhanging clouds, probably getting your attention for good reason across Charlotte County there and into Prince Edward County and Farmville even. But these things are tightening up, it looks like, and we could be in for a rough evening. The rest of the evening. This is the cell over Smith Mountain Lake that's kind of weakened, moving into Pennsylvania County, and that's moving toward Gretna. I don't see anything severe with that right now, but I am going to watch it just in case something flares up into Pennsylvania County. But the primary threat here is right through Appomattox and into Lynchburg right now, and it will be moving south. That one cell over Lynchburg is going to be dropping south into Campbell County within the next 30 minutes or so. And it's not going to surprise me if we end up getting a tornado warning out of any one of these cells at any time now. And you can see the evolution of these. We've had wind damage reported from the same cell, multiple reports of trees down on Wilda Road and Cold Springs Road. That's pretty isolated, and it begs the question, was that a tornado or something that was trying to spin up there? We had another report in the, if I can get my cursor, it's right over the contour line of this storm, the warning anyway. 1.75-inch hail, that was in Amherst County, and that came in around 4:35. The rain's filling back in here. I don't know if you can see it right there over Amherst. That rain's kind of filling, popping back up out of nowhere. So there's this jet streak that's filling in as well. That's causing these storms to kind of blossom this evening. And now we've got a new severe thunderstorm warning just issued now for that area I was specifying there. That's going to take you through the rest of southeast Campbell County and for the rest of Appomattox County going into Charlotte County now. We'll read you that text as well because the text on these has been pretty aggressive. And that's some strong wording from the National Weather Service. They don't always have wording like that. So we've got until 7:30. This is a severe thunderstorm warning with, you got to go down here to the bottom, tornado possible, thunderstorm damage threat considerable. Hail threats observed at 1.75. Severe thunderstorm over Appomattox, moving south at 20 miles an hour. It's been moving up to about 30 miles an hour at times. It'll change its movement on us. Golf ball-sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds as it continues to drop south out of Appomattox, south-southeast. Appomattox, Phoenix, Red House, Pamplin City, Madisonville, Colon, and Appomattox National Historic Park in the path of this. Remain alert for a possible tornado. This is from the National Weather Service now. Tornadoes can develop quickly from severe thunderstorms. If you get a tornado, go at once into the basement or small central room in a sturdy structure. Prepare immediately for large hail and damaging winds and deadly cloud-to-ground lightning. You can see a ton of it there showing up on the screen. Let's go back to our velocity, and we do still have it's not a fortified couplet here, but we do have some enhanced winds going away from the radar in the forest right now in Timberlake, so there could be some damaging straight line winds already affecting that area right now. There could also be a little bit of twist where you see these higher levels of yellow and orange if they correlate with where we're seeing the green contrast with the red. That's a decent indicator of what these storms are trying to do in terms of rotating. And you get up here into the cloud tops, and we're topping out cloud-wise now over about 50,000 feet in this area. I'll show you what these storms look like on a 3D perspective. Now this is looking south into Rustburg and moving west from Appomattox County. That's Amherst County up to the north. Lynchburg's right up underneath this big old thing. Let me clear some of it out so you can kind of see. So we're looking at that storm in Lynchburg, and you can see those higher clouds go way up in the sky to about 45 to 50,000 feet. That's a pretty good storm. And it's going to move right over, I think it's going to be very close to Rustburg. In fact, that's the overhang there that's kind of predicting the storm movement, if you will. That's hitting the upper level winds there. So watching that one as well, and the one in Appomattox too, still have a chance of something there spinning up. Got a bit of a couplet there over the west side of Lynchburg. Now these are the National Weather Service markers, a little bit different than our VIPIR markers, but they're showing about the same thing today, and you can see everything kind of dropping off to the south as a newer image there refreshes on your screen. Here's some more towns: Evergreen, Flood, Chap, Ballard, Pamplin, Red House, Madisonville. The cities list there showing us where we could be seeing this severe storm, that at least the damage was with very large hail and maybe even a tornado here. Evergreen in 21 minutes, Flood in 29 minutes, 7:01. Chap in 30 minutes at 7:03. Ballard in 35 minutes at 7:07. Pamplin in 40 minutes at 7:11. Red House 46 minutes at 7:18. And Madisonville in 54 minutes at 7:26. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for that area. Multiple severe thunderstorm warnings from Lynchburg to Appomattox down through Brookneal and probably nearing Charlotte Courthouse. Lots of lightning with these. Lightning can be a killer. Lightning can start fire. Lightning can destroy things on its own. Straight line winds are likely with these, damaging straight line winds, and we could even see a tornado. Future radar is not capturing the true movement of these cells, because what happens when they start spinning, they're going to move in a different direction. So that's a look at everything. We do have a flood advisory that remains in effect for Amherst. And again, you can see the area under the gun right now as these storms continue dropping south and